there are a couple of changes that I want to make to improve the sim, specifically to improve the collisions and the behavior of the coffee beans. So, and also, well, I'm going to increase the scale a little. Let's do like 1.5. Let's try that a little bit more. This will kind of fill out the shots as well. You know, they're kind of squished together a bit there, but that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, just kind of fill out the shots with more coffee beans and less kind of background space, and also it will help us get more accurate collisions. Another thing, let's take a look at the randomization of the orient here, because I'm seeing it could be a bit more random. We can take a look at this distribution here. It has different ways of creating random numbers. Could try inside sphere, works well with normal sometimes still. This one, yeah, that looks pretty good. Just seems a bit just more random, you know. The more random, the better. Let's see. So that's good there. We got the two side by side. If we go back to the collision guide, just let that load up. Okay. And they're pretty close, to be honest, but to get them to match up even better, what we can do is take the collision padding. Okay, so this kind of rescales the collision object compared to the source. If we just put that to 0, it should match up pretty much exactly. See that? Pretty much perfect there. It's only the parts which are concave in the original geometry which don't match up, but this is the kind of best scenario we can get. Okay, so let's go take a look at that. You can see they're almost identical, and we'll leave that at 0, turn that off. I'd like to get a bit more spin as well. So this is the max amount of spin that we'll get based on this rand function. Let's maybe double it. Get a bit more spin going on. The gravity, what did I put? -1. I think maybe even less. Let's do minus point, not less, sorry, a bit more. So we get maybe a bit of an arc movement on the beans. You know, to get him pulled down a little bit, and to help with that, we could add some more density to the coffee beans, which will affect the physics of it. You know, 10,000 seems like a high number for such a small thing, but this is the density, not the weight. You know, it's not 10,000 kilos or something like that. Okay, let's see what that gets us. I'll go back into my camera and just take a look at the first sim for now. I'll run again to full screen and run a flipbook of that. Let's take a look. Right, flipbook is done. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's cool. So you can see a bit more spin there, more energy, more excitement. I can't see any intersections. You know, the collisions are accurate. If you find that your simulation, the collisions are becoming unstable, you know, if you get weird popping or explode, you know, things kind of exploding out of place, and be careful with the collision padding. In this case we're fine, but you know, it's not always good to put it to 0, but be careful with that. In this case it helps a lot. Cool. So since we've changed the sim, let's take a look at the time shift, because it's kind of changed now. So we'll go, I'm going to move out a bit here just so I can see everything and see what's going on. Okay, I think what I'll do is just move the keyframe, the middle one there. So if we go back to the time shift, back into the animation editor, I think I'll move this, maybe move it up a little. So if you click, see this line going up, these lines up and above and below the dot, that will allow us to move it through time. Okay, so if I click and drag on the line, top or bottom one, doesn't matter. Let's go to like 40. Where am I? If you notice the number at the bottom is changing, I'll try 43. And then if I click on the dot in the center, I can change the value. So I can either do that, or because I know I want it to be the same, I can come down here to value and just type it in. Easy. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back to my scene view. Let's take this transform. This, as we've changed the sim, this will have to be, this won't work. You know, the collisions will be different. So I'll get rid of that. Okay, back to the camera. Back to frame 1. Full screen. Another flipbook. So the flipbook is done, so let's take a look at how that came out. It's cool. Oh. So obviously we got an error at the end there. It should be easy to fix, but now we can see we get initial collision, crash, and then it slows down. A little bit later, we get bang, slow down, and then this weird bounce here, but we can fix that. So back into the time shift, make sure that's selected, into your animation editor, and this is the problem, the curve coming up and then coming is hard to see, but it is going up and then coming down. So we can use these handles to change the interpolation there. So if I take this, I can select this handle, kind of to bring that down, make it a bit shorter. Maybe something around there. Something like that. And the same with this one, just going to drag it out. There we go, much better. So the new interpolation of the value, see, it's not going above and back down again. We want it to go here, slow down, slow, and gradually come to a stop there. Okay, let's take a look at that again. Highlight the merge. Sorry, not highlight. Visualize the merge node. Full screen, and another flipbook. Great, that's done. Let's take a look. Slow down, and perfect. We don't get that weird bounce anymore. All the collisions look great. I can't see any no intersections. One last thing I would like to do. I don't want to see anything on the first frame. You can see the corners there, and it kind of looks a bit weird. It'd be nice to just have an empty frame. So very easy fix. If we go back into the OBJ layer, select the camera, and here we have, you can change the resolution of the camera, aperture, you know, lots of different things like that. But what we're after is the focal length, and we're just going to change this to 60. There we go, disappeared.